That's okay. That's okay.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a big problem with the growth of government power. There's a big problem with the growth of corporate power. I still support the argument that in general we are going in the right direction because we're focused on self-regulation, and government is becoming
You think when you talk about we, you think you and me?
There's a lot of
Because
self-regulation.
I don't know. Yes, because I don't know many self-regulating people except you and small group of people.
Well, this is
Most of people are regulated by government.
Yeah, well, sad but true. You know, it would be interesting. It would be interesting to know what the average IQ is of a person in Slovakia. This is a very interesting question, I think, because I think it will be 5 to 10 points lower than Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, England, Scotland, Canada, United States. I think it'll be 5 to 10 points lower because of this dependence on government. Maybe not. I mean, we can all see the United States is basically collapsing. It's falling apart. Not only the United States, Canada economically, England economically and socially, France socially, Spain collapsed, Italy's got problems, Germany, the banks are all bankrupt in Germany. So there are...
And do you think that IQ is a real picture of ability to develop human being?
Yes, with a question mark.
Yes.
Yes, with a question mark. Okay, it's not 100%, but I think it's 80-90% yes. And the reason for this is IQ. Now, if you remove the cultural elements, forget about culture, because culture is very important, but IQ does not measure culture. It does not measure morality. It does not measure emotional ability. So there's a lot of things IQ doesn't measure. But generally, those with higher IQs have a more logical thought process. And that is important. That one thing is very important, the logical thought process. Because you and I both know most people cannot see very far into the future. And if you have a logical thought process, you understand that you can't see very far into the future. And so that creates a different kind of thinking, where you are more self-aware of things in general. Now, IQ is very much a Western form of measurement, but it's something we can measure. And that which we can measure, we can understand a little bit better. So it's not perfect, and I hope in the future, as a society, we will develop better ways to measure ourselves so that we can grow. But at the moment, it's quite important. If I had a company and I was employing people, I would give all of the people an IQ test. I would want to know the results, so that when I'm choosing the right people for the right positions, I know they have logical thinking. Now, it's not going to have perfect results, but I think it's important.
For me, it's only a part complex test, because morality and emotional balance is minimally on the same level of priority like IQ, like logical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
When you have an employee with IQ over 150 with bad moral and education, emotional labil
Oh
or
yeah, it's
instabil,
Bill Gates,
they are
George
absolutely,
Soros,
yeah,
Rothschild, Rockefeller dynasty.
they are monsters. They are not people.
Yes,
So
I
we
totally
need
agree.
much complex.
Wait, but they are intelligent monsters.
And
They're
okay,
not
intelligent
idiots.
monsters.
They're not idiots. And what we're looking at here is intelligence, the way that they can. Okay, they're monsters, yes, but you can still look at what the monster does and say, "Wow!" Right? You can still be amazed by what the monster does. It's not right, it's not good, but you can still be amazed by it because you can see the planning, the organization, the thought processes, everything involved in it. The same way that you can look at the things that Hitler or Stalin or Chairman Mao or Mussolini did, and you can think, whoa, that was some crazy bad shit. But you can also see the the intellectual organization of things, which was evil. It was evil, but it was.
Stop for a moment. It's again only one point of view. You take all these people like individuals, but they were controlled and checked by other forces.
Yes, of course, I agree.
They were not genius people. They were only people with very bad morality, with very imbalanced emotional. As a result of these activities, they were so controlled and checked and influenced by forces of by monster forces, and they were used for these targets. So
Yes,
we must be very careful about IQ tests. We need, like you said, complex, more complex text tests tests for human people. If we want to choose some employers or some companions or
hmm Yeah, psychopaths have very high IQ sometimes, so
yeah,
it's important to understand that. You know, intelligent people have to make the same choices as stupid people. There's no guarantee that either one is going to be correct. For example, suicide is very common amongst intelligent people. It doesn't
yes,
happen.
it's in relation what I said a few minutes before, because when somebody is over average with IQ, he is simultaneously probably with worse morality, and he is probably more emotionally labil. And these people are much better uh, controlled and checked than people with lower IQ,
Mhm.
because of because of lability, emotional lability. Probably emotional or controlling emotions are very or extremely important part of our beings.
Well, yeah, because your emotions affect your decisions.
Yes,
So
and
your
this is way how to control people through their emotions.
yeah, sure. And an emotional person is much more likely to make the wrong decision than a logical person because they will make a choice based on their feelings at that moment in time, not what is best for them in the long term. So, it's emotional people will always have that extra cigarette, always have that extra bar of chocolate, always have
Mm-hmm.
that extra beer, that extra whiskey. That's the emotional brain making that decision, not the logical brain. And there's a constant fight in the human mind between emotion and logic, and there's a constant push by
Pressure.
yes, yeah, there's a constant pressure from society to be much more emotional than logical. The emotional element is um, it's pushed. It's an agenda within society.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Um, your I wrote something about this earlier today. Let me. I will copy and paste this into the chat box. I was writing about this earlier today. Mood dictates opinions as you frame the event in the light that you want to view it. So your mood being your emotional state. So it dictates your
Mm-hmm.
options, your choices. Emotional people view the world in a very different way from logical people. And emotions are irrational. That's why choice of a future partner based on love is a slightly irrational thing to do. And that's what's promoted by all these Hollywood films, right? That you make your choice of a future partner based on
Hollywood,
this
Hollywood films are part of agenda.
oh yeah, definitely it's all part of the magic. So yeah, that's why in the past your future partner was a decision made by your whole family, not just by you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's part of the community thing that you were talking about Slovakia, that there's a lot of social benefits from having a strong local community where everybody helps each other. Nowadays in the world, when you have people who are individual and who are alone, and especially in places like Britain where 50% of children come from single parent families, is you don't have a role model. You don't have someone to help you. You don't have someone to guide you through your relationships. Um, in fact, I read a story this morning about American universities. Uh, you know what a bucket is, a kiblik.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a bucket is, yeah?
I know. Yes, yes, I
Yeah,
know.
okay. Right. So American universities, when the first year students arrive, they hand them buckets of condoms.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is this is all part of the don't
This is a
don't
picture of
think.
culture. In
Yes,
other
yeah.
words.
Yes, it's all if you can control the sexual desire and instinct of young people, then you can basically control the movement of this society. So, and then nobody will have any values because nobody will know what a value is because all the friends will just reflect the same kind of character back, and we get this society that we see today in Europe where some countries have lost their masculinity. Sweden has lost its masculinity. Holland has lost its masculinity. Belgium has lost its masculinity. France has lost its masculinity. Um, these countries are not fighting to protect the good things about them that they should have.
uh,
Slovakia
through
Slovakia
through
has not
sexual
lost.
through the matrix can suck uh, living energy from sexual activity of people, and this is why on American university all are offered buckets full of condoms because the system needs this living energy from students. The system needs students' sexual intercourse because
Emotionally happy
it's
people,
charged by this sexual activity, by
yeah,
radiating of energy during sexual intercourse.
yeah, there is an element of energy harvesting there. I don't know very much about it, and I don't know how far it goes.
And again, this is a picture of fall of humankind, fall to the bottom, and the velocity, the speed is higher and higher.
I
We can talk about something else, but the reality is now it's here,
well,
and the bottom is very very close.
I see it differently. I don't see it as a fall. I see it more as a swing. That I think it's like a
Okay, probably
metronome.
yeah, but better
I think it's like a
it's
metronome
better said, yes, yes.
where
Hmm.
society swings to one extreme and then reacts and swings back to another extreme, and maybe one is good, one is bad, maybe they're both bad. I don't know because it's very complicated, but I think that when we go too far one way, we tend to swing back very often, sometimes violently, the other way, and that's what we have to be careful of now within Europe. That's what we have to um, be aware of. That once upon a time the alternative culture was very much
So
to.
we are now absolutely out of balance. We are swinging to one pole extreme.
Yeah, and I think I think that's the way that society works. It tends to swing from one extreme to another with only a small area of balance in the middle. If you go back 30 or 40 years, the alternative culture was left and open. Now society is so open to everything that alternative culture is now conservative and closed. So um, it's really yes, we're out of balance. Maybe we're always a little bit out of balance. I don't know. It's hard.
To
It's
be
hard to
out of
say.
balance is that is life. That's to be out of balance a little bit, but externally out of it's an it is crash.
Hmm.
And
Uh,
for system, I think about the universal system. Uh, all of us, uh, all of us try to go to the balance. So when we are extremely out of balance, the natural system will do everything for to set balance again. So it means when we are extremely out of balance, we must expect the great it's the great action of universal system in order to set a balance again. So I expect the great action of universal system, and the circumstances of this reaction of universal system will be enough rough, I think, and probably it will be a great performance, a great game, great uh, lightnings and heavy storms, and very colorful and very dramatical, I think.
well, yeah, it already is very dramatic. We're already in a
Yeah, we are
major,
in the center.
yeah, we're
The
already in a
process.
major cultural swing and revolution. You know, 3 weeks ago, a sniper with a gun went to went to a place where American Republican congressmen were training to play baseball and tried to kill all of them.
It's great.
This would have caused a world war if he had been successful. It would have caused a
Mhm.
world war. And luckily, he only managed to shoot one of the congressmen. Yeah. So he put one of them in hospital. All the other bullets missed their targets. But this would have started a world war, for sure.
Mhm.
So we're pretty close to it at the moment. It only takes one spark to start a fire. So it could come anywhere at any point in time. And I think the left wing of society is pushing this at the moment. We'll see what happens.